everybody, welcome to the Keem video. First off, you're gonna need some polymer clay, at least if you're following my instructions, which I highly recommend you don't. But, if you're getting polymer clay, get red, blue, yellow, white, and black. You'll need some tin foil and some glue guns and glue sticks. Don't use a glue gun if you're putting it in the oven. I was drunk while making this and did that, so just don't do what I did. Use a super glue or a wire to make the body instead, if you don't want to do that. I recommend doing a sketch of what you want your design to look like. Mine was heavily based and inspired by the fan animation Gnome Trouble and some of the Gravity Fall Gnome designs. As you can see, I wrote down some notes on Keem's anatomy to give me some ideas of why he's developed the way he is, from his uneven eyes to his little gnome feet.
That's all.
But anyways, Keem starts doing this fucking dance. He's stomping his little gnome feet.
First, you want to make the skeleton out of tin foil. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just make a rough circle for his head, a rounded square for his body, and 4 nubs for his limbs. Make the leg limbs smaller than the arm ones. After you make the basic tinfoil shapes for the head, body, legs, and arms, you want to make the hat. The hat should be at least 3/4 the same height as Keem, or bigger. Just make a rough triangular shape. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now you want to glue the rounded head to the rough cube body you made out of tinfoil, and then add the limbs. Now just a reminder, when you glue this thing, if you're using polymer clay like I am, don't use a hot glue gun, then put your item in the oven as I did. I'm thankful it didn't ruin my art piece. Use super glue or some sort of equivalent, I don't know. Just make sure not to glue the hat on just yet. Add the first layer of clay. It's the first layer, so it's gonna look like shit, but it doesn't matter. Nothing matters, really. I used a simple blue for his pants and a pale pink for his skin. I was tempted to go for a black shirt with a drama alert symbol on it, but I chose a red shirt so I could have a more classic gnome look. I also thought red would make his beard stick out more. After you add the first layer of clay, put your creation in the oven. My polymer clay cooks at around 370 Fahrenheit in the oven. Just check your polymer clay packaging if that's what you're using. This should cook for about 10 to 15 minutes. Once you put your gnome out in the oven, let him cool, and in my case clean up the hot glue from the oven pan. After he's finished cooling, you can add a more final layer of clay on his body. From here I took a ball of red clay and mixed it slowly with a smidget of black. When I created a darker red, that became a shirt. After I rolled the clay slightly flatter on some tin foil with a pen, then I began to mold it around Keem's rough red shirt. After I mixed the ball with a smidget of black to create a darker blue for his pants, I rolled the blue out with a pen and wrapped it around his legs. The skin tone was slightly more complex. You take a smidget of red and take a ball of white. You add a tiny dot of red into the white until it's thoroughly mixed. Once you're done mixing it, the clay you are working on should look like a very pale pink. Take a dot of yellow clay and mix it with your pale pink clay. Mix it in well. Once you're done mixing the yellow, it should look how you want Keem's skin to look. I rolled out the skin and began to mold it around Keem's head.
Fuck the fans!
Once you get your basic Keem clothes down, you move to his face. The design I was going for made Keem's face look vaguely like an Ouija board hand, or whatever you call the thing you put your hand on. I just extended his chin a bit downward and added his mouth and eyes. Regardless of the design you're going for, I recommend a bigger mouth. Once you get the blueprint of the mouth down, begin adding his sideburns and a beard.
Can't wait to report your death!
Let's take a break from Keem for a second and focus on his hat. Like I said prior, you want to make sure his hat is at least 3/4 the size of him or bigger. I didn't have enough black clay, so I covered the tinfoil triangle with white polymer clay, that I could paint black later. Make sure to create a faint point at the top of the hat, but to make the hat itself round and smooth from all sides.
But if it makes you feel better, I feel bad
for calling you a rat all those many times.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. You're right. I don't feel bad.
Put the hat away for a second. Go back to Keem and start adding the fun details. I started adding little mats and curls in his beard with a pencil. I also added angry wrinkles and eyebrows to his face. Doesn't he look great? I could just hear him screaming a certain someone's name.
Everybody type in the chat, Alex is a...
Nice man.
Put Keemstar in the oven to bake again. Same temperature as before. Consult your polymer clay packaging. Now that your Keem gnome is solid, you can take his hat from earlier and mold it on his head till it looks just right. Once you get his hat the way you want it, just go back and add more details. I reinforced his wrinkles, added some teeth in his mouth, and then added some gnome curls to his gnome feet. Just have fun with your design. After I cooked him one last time to attach his hat to his body, I painted his gnome hat black and added the essential drama alert symbol to his hat with a white marker. I didn't bother doing the back of Keem, partially since I was too lazy and partially since I was kind of drunk. Overall, I think he turned out pretty good. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you didn't, that's completely fair. I gotta go finish my to-do list. And that's
really
about
about
it.
So, yeah.
See ya.